Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day wherever you might be. In this video, I'm just going to follow up with the CRKT Clever Girl after a week in my pocket. Some of my thoughts, observations, and I'm just going to share some of that with you. Stick and stay, you know I like it that way.
I can't stand intros.
Okay, so I want to talk about the CRKT Clever Girl. In front of you here, you got some DNA related type knives. Same family, CRKT. This is the Zlek, I think it's the 14. The Adamas, D2, D2. Contigo, different style, different blade steel, but you can see the DNA is still in there, and same with the SOP from Benchmade. Let's clear this stuff out of the way. Okay, so after 1 week in my pocket, some of the things I can talk about now. I did show you in my first impressions or my initial impressions on what happened. Go back to that video. I'm not going to go over that in this video. I will say that the centering is awesome. It's fine. I took it apart. I took the scales off, took the pivot apart. You'll see a little hole here with a little head. Okay, that's your adjustment right there. What I mean by adjustment is you can see the right there, that silver detent. It's like an arm. So when you take the scale off, you'll see an arm that's pushing the detent against the blade. So when you loosen it, when you loosen that screw, this screw here, you bring the detent back, so you soften everything. And by softening everything, you also put the blade out a little bit. So there's your adjuster right there. Here, this is not your adjuster for the pivot tension or anything like that. It's just simply the lock. There's a lot of reviews out there on this knife. The reason why I have this knife in my collection is because of the lock. I just needed something different in the lock. I've got lots of D2 steel. And the other reason why it's in the collection is I really do like the trailing point on this. I think it is just absolutely amazing. I think that shape is pretty out there. All I've done to this one is strop it as well. And I've used it quite a bit in the first week as well. I think that's just some smudge. Yeah, so we haven't lost any wear yet, but I expect to use this quite a bit, opening boxes and cutting oranges, etc. So far, it has done a good job. I will say that I would have liked to see this little bit of a swell, just kind of moved over that way, just a hair. In my hand anyway, it feels like I'm a little bit farther back. I think I would have been liked maybe just a little bit, not much, just a little bit, but again, that's really minor. I find this to be very comfortable. It's not too janky. You'd think it would be because of the aggressive G10. And I did talk about the pocket clip, and I have fixed that. I brought it back a little bit. So it's in and out of the pocket much easier. At first, I was kind of not sure about this pocket clip, the way it was set up. And actually, you know, looking at it right now, I almost want it to go that way a bit more, just so you got something to grab. Right now, it's not grabby friendly. The other thing I talked about was lefty love. When I did my initial impressions, I wasn't really sure there was a lot of lefty comfort going on. but I am finding it is working. So I guess just practice, right? And the number one reason I've had this in my pocket for a week is it's just a lot of fidget fun. So you could just sit here and do this all day. And I have, done it for a while, and it does loosen up the blade and kind of makes things smooth. The flipper, I'll see if I can come in on the flipper here. It's not overly aggressive. I think that the jimping should have came out one more. And everything is kind of rounded over, which some people are going to say that's good because it's not biting into your finger. I almost think that it's just a little bit too passive. I think it could have been just jimped out one more. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I would have liked to seen it just a little bit more and maybe not so rounded out. I will say that my experience has been, it's a light switch, so I'm just pulling it back and it's working quite nice. As far as loading it, you can do that as well. Not as comfortable. And my preferred method is just using the blade stops. And they are blade stops, by the way. So their technical definition would be blade stops. But you could also call them thumb studs if you really wanted to. That's my preferred method, is the thumb stud. It just comes out much better. Just a little bit softer on the, yeah. And there's that crazy trailing point. I will say be careful with the trailing point, because if your hand is anywhere near and you're opening it, that trailing point, it will hurt. It will hurt. So as far as back cuts are concerned, I think that could be one of the advantages of the trailing point. We got a hollow grind going on here. I don't think I'm going to be taking this one out into the woods and making coffee. But I do like the edge grind on this one as well. So there's been a couple of knives that Crooked River had a really nice edge grind. This one's got a nice edge grind too. I'm sure people have talked about this as a forward choil. I don't think I would be using that. But not bad. So in the week that I've carried it, I like it. I really do. I think it's got a place in my collection and in everyday carry. Why not? Yeah, it'll take you around that G10. The fit and finish on this is really good. It's like CRKT has stepped it up a little bit. The liners are not hollowed out in any way. There's no relief. And there's another close-up on that jimping. There you go. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's kind of my up close and personal, or at least my 1 week carry. I don't know what I'm going to call this video. I think I'll just call it 1 week with the clever girl. Let me know what you think. I think this is a very cool looking shape. I do like the shape. Anyway, have a great day. Bye for now.